Hello children, I'm sure all of you are doing fine and doing great by staying indoors and by staying safe. And I am also aware that all of you are making the best use of your time by learning from the ongoing video classes, the online classes presented to you for class 8 for the different subjects you have. Coming to the subject and language English, we have come to the part 3 of the video of the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree. Today, I will be talking to you about the tone, the theme, the subject, the overview, the structure, the style of the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree. Yes, children? So, the subject of the poem here is, it is the beautiful Lake Isle of Innisfree. The subject of the poem is the lake itself. The place is a sanctuary where one can escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. The place is a sanctuary where one can escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. For example, and I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow. If you remember, this is the line 4 of the poem. You can go back and check the last video, the part 2 and the part 1 also. And there you will find the detailed description of all the lines of the poem and the summary of the poem. Now coming to the tone of the poem, it is a calm and a relaxing tone. Yes, children, it is a calm and a relaxing tone. The reader may picture a person physically arising and leaving to this place called Innisfree. However, instead of physically going to this place, the narrator is going there with his mind. The place is completely imagined in his head. It helps him to relax and escape the rush of the modern living. Yes, so that is the tone of the poem, children. It is a calm and relaxing, and it also gives the picture of a person physically arising and leaving to this place called Innisfree, and it is all in his imagination, it is all in his head. The narrator is going there in his mind. Yes, it helps him to relax and escape the rush of the modern living, where he is living currently in a city, and the city is full of vehicles and it is full of roads and pavements, as seen in the previous video. Now children, coming to the overview of the poem is about a person's desire and imagination to leave the city and go to a peaceful place in the country. He wants to escape the harshness of modern living. The persona wants to go to a small island in the middle of a lake. It is called the Lake Isle of Innisfree. The persona wants to live by himself in a peaceful place, and he wishes to be close to nature. Yes, now there is a new word which is introduced here, persona. Person is a human being. Yes, a living human being, that is known as a person. Person is a, but here it is a persona. The word persona has the additional letter A at the end, and the plural is personae. In literature, so what is persona in writing? Persona in literature is the person who is understood to be speaking in a particular work. See, the person who is understood to be speaking or thinking or writing in a particular work. The persona is almost invariably the writer himself. So here it is very clear. See, here the persona is the writer William Butler Yeats, because he is talking about himself. He wants to go there. In his mind, he has thought about going there, and he has written the poem, and he is also in the thoughts also. He was thinking about it, and he has also written about it. So the persona here is the writer himself, the speaker himself. And who is the speaker? The speaker is William Butler Yeats. And The word persona also means, see, the normal or the general word which we use, persona, is, it is a noun, and it is the particular type of character that a person seems to have, and that is often different from their real or private character. That is, don't confuse this word with, the word is the same, but don't confuse the usage of this word in this context. Here, the context is the person, the writer, and the speaker. Okay, children? And now coming to the theme of the poem. Nature brings peace and harmony to man. Yes, nature provides man with lovely sights and sounds which pleases him and enables him to live a peaceful, stress-free life. Man should live close to nature. The poet himself wants to escape to this beautiful and peaceful place and build his dream home there. As you can see, there is a picture also. The picture itself, when you see the blue skies, the trees, and the water on the lake, it is a complete picture of nature from the sky to the ground. Yes, it is inclusive of the sky, inclusive of the trees, and inclusive of the water also. Yes, children. Now coming to the structure and style of the poem. The structure and style is very easy. The poem is written in 3 stanzas or 3 quatrains. Each stanza has 4 lines. A quatrain means 4 lines. The rhyme scheme in this poem is A, B, A, B. This rhyme scheme creates a sense of harmony. It reflects the peace that the poet sees in the lake isle of Innisfree. Yes, children. So, if you go back to the poem, here, if you take the first page or the first stanza, I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. Line 1, last word is Innisfree, and line 3, last word is honey bee. Line 2, last word is made, and line 4, last word is glade. Yes, children? So that is the rhyme scheme of the poem. It is A, B, A, B. I hope you're getting the exact picture here. And in stanza 2, the first line, last word is slow, and third line is glow, purple glow. Second line is the cricket sings and linnet's wings. Are you getting the point? It is A, B and A, B. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B. And the last stanza, night and day. Day is the last word of the first line of the stanza, and the third line of the stanza is grey. Day and grey. And by the shore and heart's core. Shore and core. Again rhyming. A and A, B and B. So it is A, B, A, B. This is the rhyming scheme of the poem. Okay, children. So this is what I was talking to you about. The literary devices in the poem is, the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. I explained it to you just now. And alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of a constant sound in 2 or more closely placed words. That is called an alliteration. The instances of alliteration in the poem are hive, honeybee. H sound is repeated. Lake, lapping, and low. The L, letter L, the L sound is repeated. Yes, and we also have repetition in this poem. If you see, I will arise and go now is repeated in stanza 1 and as well as stanza 3. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree, and again he says in stanza 3, I will arise and go now. So that is the repetition in the poem. Personification, that means, See, personification is nothing but you are giving the human qualities to something which you want to express. That is personification. Here, the morning is personified. Yes, children, in this poem, the morning is personified. So, what exactly the writer is talking here? Personification means giving the human qualities to a whatever you want to describe. And also the next one is a metaphor. The poet uses this to compare two or more things without using the words. Here the clouds are compared to veils, and also peace comes dropping slow. That means the evening is coming dropping slow. That means whenever it is evening time, the peace also is coming like a dropping of the evening, and also the veils of the morning. That means the veils of the morning. The clouds are compared to veils here, children. Okay. And now one more thing I want to introduce here in this is here I will just place the picture for you so that you don't get confused. See, children, the structure and style I have already read, but the imagery itself, if you go back and check the poem itself, the lines of the poem given here is very clear. If you see here, the visual imagery, the poet creates a great visual imagery, right? Each of the line he is given something so that you can use that and imagine it. Of course, the image is real. That means the picture in his mind, the Lake Isle is very real. The Lake Isle of Innisfree is very real. But whatever it is, he tells us he describes the images with his words. So the poet creates pictures and images in the minds of the readers to stress a particular point. This poem has strong visual appeal to the eyes and auditory, that means appeal to the ears, and imaginary visions. Now, visual imagery. Visual imagery is, the first one is veils of the morning. Yes, he compares the veils to the veil. What is a veil? A veil, as already explained in the second video, a veil is a piece of a cloth worn by women to cover their faces. So, the veils of the morning, and midnight's all a glimmer. Now, how is the midnight here? It is all a glimmer. Glimmer means shining softly. Yes, midnight's all a glimmer. And noon a purple glow. Noon a purple glow. The last second line in the second stanza. Yes, children, the noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. Evening is full of the linnet's wings. That means in the sky, when at evening time, the birds' linnets are flying, flapping their wings. Now, the auditory imagery here is the bee loud glade. That means the honey bee. You remember, children, the honey bees, and he wants to first of all he wants to plant the bean rows that in turn will attract the honey bees, and there also the bees will build a beehive for themselves. So in the bee loud glade, that is what the writer says here, children. And the cricket sings. Yes, children, and the cricket sings, and also the lake water lapping. Lapping is the sound made by the water. Yes, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. That is the second line and the last stanza of the poem. So the images create a vivid picture of the place, which gives a inner sense of peace and harmony. As and when I'm stressing on the point that this poem basically is the poem for peace and harmony. The writer wants to escape. The writer wants to escape completely into the peace and harmony. Yes, children. I am just checking if I have missed out anything for you. This page again is the explanation of the literary devices. I am just summarizing it for you. The literary devices, the first one which I explained is the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme is AB, AB, and all end rhymes are full. This brings a sense of closure and order to the poem. See, if you are starting with shore, then you can end it with kor. So that is giving a complete closure. It is giving a sense of closure and order, right? It is not haywire or it is not haphazard manner. It is not up and down. So it is in a complete order. Then next is again I'm summarizing it. Again I'm telling it to you. It is an alliteration. An alliteration is basically the repetition of consonant sounds. It's basically the repetition of consonant sounds. Here the consonant first one used is H. That means the letter H. H, the consonant H is a hive and honey bee. And the next consonant is lake, lapping, low. The letter L is, and the consonant is L. And next one, children. There is also personification. Morning is personified here in the picture. See, there is a beautiful picture also. The mornings are very much, it is compared to the veil, right? It is compared to the veil of a woman. And there is also repetition. I will arise and go now is repeated in stanza 1 and also stanza 3, children. Yes, now also there is metaphor. Do you remember? There is a metaphor. The clouds are compared to veils. The poet uses this to compare two or more things without using the words. And more examples I already read, like peace comes dropping slow. How is the peace coming? Peace is coming very slow. It's dropping slow. And also the veils of the morning. That is the metaphor, children. So if you have any doubts, you can please pause the video wherever you want to, and you can go through the complete video. And also once again you can go through the part 1 and part 2 of the video, which are already posted, and I'm sure all of you are going through it. Now you can make use of all these videos and make complete notes for yourself, because the assignments are being sent to you already. Assignment 1 and assignment 2 has been sent. So tomorrow you will be receiving an assignment based on the poetic devices used in the Lake Isle of Innisfree, written by William Butler Yeats. Please complete the home assignment, children, and please keep yourself busy, because the time which is given to you now will never come back, and it is all in the end. What matters is how best you are making use of your time. So please don't waste this opportunity given to your children, and at the end of the academic year you will be in a good place, because all of you are going through the videos of the various subjects, and it will be helpful for you only. And this is the end of the part 3, children. I hope all of you will follow the instructions, and you will stay home, and you will stay safe, and you will be happy with your parents at home. God bless you all.